Hi folks, and welcome to this week's edition of All About Real Estate. As you can see, I've got a guest with me this week. I've got Andree Holmes from Designing Holmes. I mentioned last week that we were going to talk to someone who is an expert in staging homes, and Andree's come along. That's what she does with her business. Now Andree, we were talking a little bit earlier and you were saying that you're the director of first impressions, aren't you?
I like that saying, Gary, and that's so true.
Okay, why is that important?
Yeah. As we know, the minute you pull up to a property that's for sale, it starts with street appeal, as we call curb appeal.
Right.
You decide whether you want to go in.
Yep.
The same applies at the beginning or the front of the house. It's very important for first impressions that start at the front veranda and the minute you enter the property.
Right.
As you know, and most people make up their mind within 30 seconds, they want to go further into the property if this is the house for them.
So it's a real feel thing, isn't it?
It's a real feel thing.
People buy by feel. It's not, I mean, the price is obviously important, but if they walk in, I often hear as an agent, I often hear people say, it doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's because the people haven't set the scene for their own home.
That's exactly right. And with staging, the thing that we do differently is you style a property slightly different to if you're going to live there. And it's very important for vendors to become slightly detached from their property.
Right, okay.
You live there for so long that you get very familiar with what
So
your surroundings are.
You're in love with all of those bits and pieces in your house.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't like to overstage a property. I think it's important, if you can, to incorporate people's personal belongings as well.
Yeah. Things like toys, what do we do?
Toys have a place. I think if you've got a house that has many bedrooms and obviously you're appealing to a family market, that you want to be able to have some toys there, because obviously someone with kids is going to move in the appropriate place. So in a dedicated area in a children's room is fine, neatly stacked in a basket, and a lounge room is also acceptable, as long as it doesn't clutter the home.
But you were saying earlier, when you walk into the front door, quite literally, you as a professional look at what feel you get from
straight
it.
away. I analyse.
I
use my professional. I've been doing this for many years.
Right.
And I know what works. I go to open inspections, I listen to feedback, I listen to what people say. And I'm a person as well, I get a first impression as well. And that's what it's about first impressions. So the minute I walk in, I'll start to analyse what's happening the minute I walk in that door. If there's a room to the left, often that will be the first place that somebody's going to see it.
So they'll sort of glance in there.
They'll glance in there, so it's important that that room not only looks like striking that we want to walk into that room, but also has some kind of congruence that will match to start you off to the rest of the home.
And okay, so we've walked into the home and it's all done. And how do sellers of homes help you to help them? What's the best things they can do? The
best thing they can do is, I guess the first thing would be to take the advice of the professionals. For that reason, because the realtor and the home stylers are professionals.
And of course we're actually trying to help them get the most money for their home, aren't we?
That's exactly right, and it's a really rewarding vocation. I love what I do. I love helping people sell their property for the best price, for the quickest amount of time with the least amount of stress, and that's what it's all about. You don't want this to be a stressful time.
No. Now you're also saying with pets and stuff like that, if you have pets, it's often a good idea to also get someone to come in and do a professional clean for allergies and stuff like that.
That also starts at the front door. I think we were discussing earlier that if you do have your beautiful pooch or the pussycat, don't leave their matting or their bedding at the front door or in the back door for that matter. Perhaps it's time for them to have a little holiday as well, which sometimes could be stressful. Pet kennel. I'm an animal lover and I've done the same thing when I sell my home. We have to remember a lot of people have allergies now, and the last thing you want is a potential buyer to be walking through a property and all they can concentrate on is how much they want to sneeze rather than how big that room was and how fantastic their things are going to do. So put away the puppy equipment and the cat equipment, keep it clean. The other thing on the cleanliness, I do recommend having professional cleaners through. One thing, if you're packing up your home to sell, that's another stress that you don't need. Most people are very reasonably priced now for cleaners. Have the cleaners through and declutter.
Okay. That's it for this week. We hope that those tips about getting your home ready for sale have been really helpful. In fact, I had Andree suggest we needed something on this table here, so we went up to our good friends at the Hilltop Blooms Florist and they provided us with this lovely table setting. Next week we're going to be talking to Andree again, and this time we're going to be talking about what do we do if the home is actually empty. Do we need to put some furniture in? That question we'll answer next week. So I'm Gary Hennessy from Professionals Real Estate. We hope you have a great week.